Boy, do I have a fun video planned out for you guys today. Today will be Madness Monday, but we have our own little twist on it. Today will be the Wheel of Doom, or the Wheel of Madness. Works in progress. It's not trademarked yet, but we were doing a one-round mock draft with trades. The cat is here with us to join us. She will be giving us good luck with these wheel spins. And the thing about this wheel spin is that it's a 50-50, so anything can happen. It's literally a 50-50 for the pick or trade. And then you also have all the names of the NFL teams right here, all the luxurious teams right here. And we have a one-round NFL mock draft. This is the PFF season mock draft with trades. I have a cat's tail in front of my face, and you know why? Because we are about to get started. All right, the Raiders. Let's see if they pick or trade. They trade it. So they did not get Fernando Mendoza. I mean, let's see if they do. But they trade it today. Who will they be trading it to? This is another wheel. Let's see who they traded to. Oh. The Cincinnati Bengals. So I'm just going to do a 1-for-1 trade. So I'm going to propose the Raiders trade to that. Obviously, this won't ever happen, but this is just literally just a fun experiment today. I just want to have fun with this video. Madness Monday. Well, that's some madness here. So let's go with the Raiders trading with the Bengals. 1 and number 10. Yeah. All right. The Bengals are on the board. Who do they take? They're obviously not going to take Mendoza because they have Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty. So it's just a pick of the litter who they want to take. And I'm going to go Arbor Reese. And this makes the most sense, most upside in the draft. I mean, Arbor Reese has the most, probably the best upside. He hasn't played edge the most, but you're taking him for an edge. I don't think you're taking him for softball linebacker. We can also play the edge or the linebacker position as well. It's a 51-49% dividends between the snaps of his Ohio State off-ball and on-ball linebacker. So there's areas there this team could use it after Trey Hendrickson's departure. Not a bad idea. The Jets are on the board. If you take a pick, you would take Fernando Mendoza here. Let's go see what they get. Boom, 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 and they get a trade too. Wow. Okay. So who do the Jets trade with? Let's see. Out of all the 32 teams, and if they respin, if it lands on their team, they get a bailout and they get a pick. So the Ravens. Oh my God, this is crazy. The Ravens get a pick. I didn't ever think I'd ever see this, but we're gonna go the Jets, the New York Football Jets. They will be trading with the Ravens. Like I said, I'm not gonna be giving actual trades. It's literally just gonna be 1-for-1 deals, and it's just a little fun area. So for the Ravens, there's literally their entire pick of the litter beside Arbor Reese, which they would have liked, but they don't get him here. So who do they take here? I think an edge rusher's in play, guards in play. Do you want to take Francis Mino or just kick him into guard? Declan Doyle uses those guard swing tackle hybrids. I mean, it's not a bad option. We're going to go with Francis Mino with unreal strength. Not a bad option to take CC Mino here. Like to fit a lot for this team. And you take Francis Mino here. He's obviously not the best guard or tackle prospect ever. And this team doesn't need guard, so he's probably going to kick into guard. I think he has versatility everywhere. So it's not a bad option to take Francis Mino here. So we're going to go Francis Mino. Not a bad option. The Cardinals, with their number 1 pick gone, or with the number 1 guy to have them pick, and they're still sticking and picking. And the real question is, who do they take? And you know who they take? They take Fernando Mendoza, quarterback out of Indiana. Wow, this is turned out perfectly for the Cardinals. They stick and pick Fernando Mendoza. Not a bad option to take Fernando Mendoza. He doesn't have the biggest arm threat in the world, but again, he's not a bad prospect. I like it a lot here. This makes a lot of sense for this team, and especially Fernando Mendoza's here, which there's less than a 1% chance. It's like a 0.0001% chance he's there. I don't think they're gonna pass up on him regardless if he's there. So we're gonna take Fernando Mendoza. Good frame, decently sized in provision skill. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. And then his arm talent is not the best, but it's not the worst as well. But his leadership, clutch points, his locker room presence, just his entire presence just in general, really brings up this team. So I don't dislike this pick at all for them, especially if he falls for this team. So a little unrealistic, but this is not supposed to be a realistic mock draft. So for another wheel spin, we're gonna go another pick area. The Titans get to pick whatever player they want, and I'm gonna go with one of my best players on the board right now. There's no way he's down low. I had to have missed him. Where's Jeremiah Love? Oh, he's right there. He's number 7. All right, so Jeremiah Love. They take Jeremiah Love here. Brian Daboll gets another weapon to this offense. After poaching Wanda Robinson from the Giants, he gets Jeremiah Love, another not so bad option for his team. Again, like I said, he has a area to not be the full bell cow immediately. I think he can be. I think he already is capable of. But I'd rather him just take it easy right now. Really take it easy, and eventually, eventually just make sure that he eventually gets these reps in, eventually make sure that this team is ready for him, and it'll be another weapon for Cam Ward. Not a bad option, and he doesn't wear himself out immediately, because sometimes running backs get thrown into shitty schemes when they have so much workload on them. It's not a bad idea to take Jeremiah Love here. I like it a lot. All right, the Giants are on the board. Let's see if they trade back or pick. They pick. The Giants pick. So with the Giants able to pick, they also have a pick of the litter for everything, but this pick doesn't change that much because no one took anything they wouldn't. So we're gonna go Sonny Styles, linebacker out of Ohio State. Makes a lot of sense. There is concerns that he throws himself into tackles. That's like goes into the line and then you get stuff in the NFL. That's a valid concern. I just don't see as much as people are doing it. When I watched his film study, he's very smart. He's a bunch of upside. I think that experience where he's getting thrown into tackles is not a it's not really a technique issue. It's just more it's just like an experience issue. I think that once he eventually works and works at chips out of way, not a bad option to take him. It really doesn't make any more sense. I think he will eventually develop into a fine player, and he already is a fine player. He already tested physically off the charts too. Not a bad option to take Sonny Styles here at all. All right, with the Browns on the board, let's see if they pick or trade. They pick. We've gone 4 picks in a row. So they also have a pick of the litter here, and there's not much like the board has changed. So where do you want to go here? I'm going to probably go Carnell Tate, wide receiver out of Ohio State. Yeah, I like Carnell Tate's route running ability. I think this is probably one of the better aspects of his game is route running, his strength. He has really good footwork, really good at the catch point, really good home run ability. Again, not a bad option for this team. This team needs a wide receiver. If they pick her, makes a lot of sense for this team. I like it a lot, and I think this team needs another wide receiver across from Jerry Jeudy to get that wide receiver. And maybe you can get another wide receiver later down the rounds. You can maybe get Chris Bell, Jeremy Bernard. I'm pretty high on Ted Hurst, even Skylar Bell too. A little bit of an older prospect, Skylar Bell is, but I guess a solid prospect at all. But I think Carnell Tate would make sense for this team, and this team needs in the first round. My main targets for them is a wide receiver and a tackle, and then maybe get corner in your second round pick. Maybe you hope to Colton Hood or Brandon Cisse Falls. So again, a really good pick for this team, and a really good fit. The Commanders are spinning. They are on the clock right now. Let's see what they get. They get a trade back. Oh no. You would have loved Caleb Downs here. They do not get Caleb Downs, so they get a trade back. The Commanders trade back with who? Let's see. Out of all the 32 teams, maybe they get bailed out and eventually get a pick. The Texans trade up and get their pick of the litter. So we're gonna go where are the Commanders at? Let's see. Commanders and the Texans jump up. Oh my god. Texans just divided by 4, and now they get pick number 7. Wow. All right. Texans are up on the clock. What do they get? You don't need to see them here. What do they get? There is not really much I would say right now. I mean, I would low-key go Vega Ione here, or actually, let's do this. I would say Vega Ione. We'll go Vega Ione. I know this board isn't as high as him as I am. I think Vega Ione would be awesome. I think this team could use a guard like Vega Ione. It's a real strength guard. I know they signed some guards like Wyatt Teller, but it's not a bad option to take guard here. And I would say maybe take the defensive tackle here, but I don't think the defensive tackle board, I don't want to. I like Peter Woods a lot, but I don't think taking him top 10 is justified just yet. Christian Miller's fine. Kaden McDonald's fine. You're already taking them when you have their pick regardless. So I think Vega's not a bad option here. And they also have a bunch of capital. You have 2 second round picks next round, so you still want to take someone like this, Lee Hunter, Christian Miller later on. So it's not a bad option to take Vega here. Vega is honestly a real strength at guard. He has a bunch of strength. He's not the most laterally gifted, but he's really good in the pass pro. He only allowed 5 pressures at Penn State. Not a bad option to take him here. The Saints. Let's see the Saints. The pick or trade. We're gonna be spinning this every single time, so we're seeing this. The Saints pick. All right. The Saints get their pick of whatever they need, and I'm gonna go Caleb Downs here, safety out of Ohio State. Let's see what they how they use Caleb Downs. I think Brandon Staley will use him similarly to Derwin James, and that won't be a bad pro comp, not pro comp, but like a bad schematic fit for this team, because you can use him to Derwin James. Derwin James is an elite all-pro safety. I think Caleb Downs definitely has the ceiling to be that. I think he definitely will, and he's already high floor player regardless. Caleb Downs will get some tackling done. He will hit the ball. He will be a real locker room leadership. And they're kind of losing that with Cam Jordan and Demario Davis, which Demario Davis they lost, and Cam Jordan is still in free agency. I don't think they're taking him back. So Caleb Downs can kind of fill that role, and it's kind of crazy to talk about like how big of a rookie is in terms of the locker room. It's kind of similar with Mendoza too. It's like, okay, yeah, wait, like a rookie's like that big, like has that much impact. So yeah, sometimes they do, and I think Caleb Downs has been a program changer at multiple areas. At Ohio State, he was obviously producing both years he went, and even Alabama, he was just really good. So, you're taking Caleb Downs here, it's not a bad option. It really isn't. I think you can use him similar to Derwin James and have the flexibility there, and I think he's more versatile than people like to give him credit for, so it's not a bad option. The Chiefs, you gotta hope you want to pick, because I think Ruben Bain is right here, and he's sitting at your face and staring at you, saying pick, but they trade back, and who do they trade back with? Wow. Okay, the Chiefs trade back, and they don't get their edge rusher of the future. They have to trade back with someone else. And let's see if a team gets lucky and gets extra draft capital. The Cardinals trade up. Oh my God, the Cardinals get up. Wow. Okay, so the Chiefs trade back for the Cardinals. The Cardinals get another pick. Yeah, so the Cardinals are on the board. So where do they go? Yeah, so yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Really is gonna be interesting. Yeah, this is just crazy. I don't even know. So they need an offensive tackle. They took Fernando Mendoza, which I would have taken regardless. They need an offensive tackle. I'm gonna go Spencer Fano. Yeah, I think this makes no sense. You don't really need a left tackle. Paris Johnson is playing left tackle, so Spencer Fano did test pretty good as pro day versus the combine. His arms were very short, but the pro day measured out a little bit better. So I think he has flexibility to play tackle a lot more than I thought. I think there is definitely a moving point to guard, but I think he definitely played tackle regardless. I think it's just more bodies there, and he already is a good enough talent to the point where he's going to start in the offensive line regardless if it's guard or tackle. And he has great strength, decent enough speed. I think it's better speed than Francis Mano, but less strength than Fano, but the gap for strength is bigger for Maui Noah than the speed is for Fano. So I think I like Maui Noah more as a prospect, but the flexibility is definitely a intriguing aspect to Fano's player composition and his whole report card. So it's not a bad option to see where he can go. But I think a tackle is very plausible for this team, and especially what they need, it's not a bad option. The Raiders are back on the board. So the Raiders trade back with the Bengals. Let's see if they have to trade back again and see if they get unlucky or if they get a stick and pick. And it looks like they will be picking. Okay, so the Raiders are picking, and they would have loved Fernando Mendoza, but they do not get Fernando Mendoza. And quarterbacks are a big option and a big need for this team. The problem is, where do you go? Literally, where do you go? I think defensive tackles in play, but I don't know if I'm comfortable taking Peter Woods yet. Quarterbacks in play too. Do you want to take a chance on Ty Simpson? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Ty Simpson going here. Offensive tackles in play here as well. Defensive tackle, edge is also in play. I know you did get Max Rossi back when you get someone else across from that edge area. Wide receiver, I think, isn't as big as team as people would like to give him credit for, but I think Caleb Lomu can play that offensive tackle / guard area, and would be a real kind of jack of all trades for this team. It's a little high for him. Trust me, it's a little high for him. Definitely as a marginal prospect and a prospect who's under a lot of concern of how well he'll do in the NFL level. But I think this team needs a lot more in the offensive line too. It's not a bad option. The tackle area is not bad. I think they need more guards. I think I view Caleb Lomu a little bit more as a guard, so it's not a bad option to take Caleb Lomu here. It makes a lot of sense. And the top offensive lineman, Spencer Fano, Big Ione, and Maui Noah are all gone. So I think taking Caleb Lomu here is not a bad option whatsoever. The Dolphins, they have not been picked yet, so they get to go down the wheel of doom, and they get the pick option. No, they just barely saved themselves, so they get the pick option. And I think with Ruben Bain still on the board, it's not a bad option to try Ruben Bain. We're gonna go Ruben Bain here. Jeff Hadley gets his defensive cornerstone for the future. It's not a bad option to take Ruben Bain here. Makes a lot of sense for his team schematically as well. And I think Bain will be an awesome player. His pro day went tremendously and stupendously. He had really good drills. His bend was going viral over the internet, comparing him to Arbor Reese. I think people are concerned about Arbor Reese's bend. If you're worried about that, they're playing two different positions, and Bain plays more in an edge role, and Arbor Reese played 51% of his snaps at off-ball linebacker. So there's more to the picture than that than that picture, which is kind of like figuratively speaking, like there's more to that. So I think people are kind of overblowing the Ben area for Arthur Reese, but I think Ruben is so awesome. It's not gonna take away. And he looks so explosive, so violent, looks so powerful in his drills where he's like pushing the sled up. He looked really good and really solid in that. And I'm a big believer that sometimes these drills translate to the field, not as much as film, but sometimes these drills do tell a bigger picture. So it's not about option to play for Ruben Bain here for the future. The Cowboys, nothing has really happened with them. Not a bad option to take a spin on the wheel, and they get the number one option for them, is which trade. I don't know what I'm talking about, but they're getting trade. So who do they trade with? The wheel of teams. Hopefully they luck out, get their own player or own team. The Packers. Whoa, what a change of events. The Packers are in here. And the Packers don't have their first round pick, so the Packers get a free pick. The Cowboys propose to the Packers, hey, we'll give you 12, and you get 7th. Boom. All right, the Packers are on the board. First time we'll see this here. The Packers can use a lot of things areas to after losing Rashawn Gary, which did not work out as well as you want. I'm going to go David Bailey here. Makes a lot of sense for this team. You need an edge rusher. There is a lot of marginal strength issues with David Bailey. I mean, that's the biggest issue for me is the marginal strength. His bend isn't that great either. But I think as a prospect and getting to the quarterback, it's not a bad option. And Micah Parsons coming off an ACL injury where you're kind of concerned, like, okay, like, you know he's still going to be elite level talent, but he might need to work a little bit less. He might need to take maybe a couple more plays off or a couple more areas. I know it's an ACL injury. Modern medicine has come a long way. I'm not trying to take away from our doctors. God bless you, doctors. But David Bailey can get to the quarterback and kind of be a good alleviating factor to Micah Parsons, even after losing Rashawn Gary, which was he wasn't spectacular or anything. It was actually quite the opposite. But still, regardless, you take David Bailey here, another edge, that ability, not a bad option, especially after losing some firepower in Kenny Clark here. So it's not a bad option to take David Bailey here. The Rams, they are also playing with house money with the Falcons pick, and then they also use that pick 29, their actual pick, to trade with the Chiefs, but they trade back again. I mean, I've saw this weird statistics when McDuffie was gone that the Rams haven't picked anybody since like 2018 in the first round besides Jared Verse. I mean, you're 1 for 1. That's 100% from the field. I mean, shit. But who did I spin? The Rams. The Rams got trade. We got really sidetracked there. See the Rams block out, get their own pick. And the Chiefs. Fuck, this is not what the Chiefs need, bro. The Raiders. Yes. We got the Raiders. I'm actually having a blast doing this. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm having a blast doing this. Yeah, so the Raiders, if the Raiders already had a pick and they get back on the clock, the Rams have to give up. The Rams have to give up a lot. So the Rams are out officially unless they trade back in. The Raiders get 2 first-round picks. What do they take here? What do they take? Maybe they take another corner here because if you look at their corner room, right, it's not like the greatest corner room in the world. It's Eric Stokes, Darian Porter, and Taron Johnson. So I think taking Mansour Delane here, who has fallen a lot, is not a bad option for this team. You can take Mansour Delane, who's not, can be there. I realize Mansour Delane still could have gone to the Packers. I definitely can see these two flip flopping, even with Max Crosby, and obviously they got Nakobe Dean, Quay Walker. But I think if you take Mansour Delane here, you get your corner of the future. I mean, I'm not really going to stop Eric Stokes from going down to corner 2. I think he'll be fine there. I think you take Mansour Delane, who's a little bit smaller on the smaller side in terms of arm length and even just in terms of measurables. But he was a real solid player for LSU, only allowing 15 catches and had really good press coverage, really good technique, really good size. He was literally the best corner in college football this year. I think that'll be a good schematic fit for this team as well. I think they'll use him well. All right, with the Jets on the clock, let's see if they pick or trade. And they trade back again. Wow, the Jets are just getting fucked. That's really sad. Let's see what the Jets get. Wow, the Broncos trade back in. All right, the Jets trade with Denver. Wow. Okay, so the Broncos get a trade back in. They get a pick of the litter. They're going to go with the best defensive tackle on the board right now. They're going to go Peter Woods, tight end. Defensive tackle out of Clemson. I know see Kenyon Sadiq is definitely a play here. Don't think I forgot about Kenyon Sadiq, but I think Peter Woods might be a little bit better bang for your buck. It's a little bit more upside. I know Kenyon Sadiq has a lot of upside as well, but I think I like Peter Woods more, especially after losing John Franklin Myers to the Titans, which is egregious overpay for them. So I think I'm fine letting John Franklin Myers go for that amount of money. Like, just go chase your back king. But I think Peter Woods has unreal upside. I think the story of the stats don't tell the entire story. It really doesn't. And people don't like to harp on him for having a down year. I think definitely there is some concern there, but I don't think it's as big as people are having him dropping out of the first round. Like, that's not my whole ordeal. That's not like something I would rather do. So I'm not a gigantic, not gigantic hitter Peter Woods, especially with the upside, and they need a defensive tackle anyways. So we're not going really in depth in this area, but we're just having fun with this. So you guys already get enough analysis on my page. All right. The Bucks get another trade. We're on a hard streak of trades right now. It's been, how many trades has it been? It's been 3 in a row. So the the Bucks trade back with the Bears. Interesting. The Bears also get a pick pretty highly than what they usually do. And I have the perfect area for the Bears to go here. The Bucks luck out. They get another chance because the Bears have a pick behind them. We're gonna do it like that way. So the Bears pick, they're going to get Dylan Thielen, safety out of Oregon. Again, it'll be a great schematic fit for this team. Obviously, they do have Kobe Bryant, but I think Dylan Thielen can slot into that other cornerback or safety position after losing Jaquan Brisker and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They get their 2 young safeties of the future. I don't know, Kobe Bryant is the youngest safety in the world, but he is you're building for the future because you're giving him an extra 3 years. So you're not like, it was a good sign for them. It was a good. I'm not entirely sure where I was going with that, but it was a really good sign for them. So I don't hate Dylan Thielen here. It makes a lot of sense for this team schematically, and this team needs a more safety duo, younger safety duo, and Dylan Thielen gets really good turnover rate in terms of fumbles and interceptions, and just was texted off the charts athletically. It's awesome pick, really awesome pick, top 10 player in the class for me. The Jets, they just keep on getting cucked. I mean, they gotta hope that someone else has a first round pick because otherwise they're out of this mock draft completely. The Jets, to the Jets trade with. The Jets trade with, let's see, the Vikings. They luck out. They got the Vikings. Okay, so the Vikings get the Jets pick and they just trade 15 for 18. Sorry, 16 for 18. All right. So who do the Vikings take here? With Dylan Thielen gone, you don't know what's going on here. So there's areas you can go here. I think defensive tackle's in play, but do you feel comfortable taking defensive tackle here? I think regardless, I think you just go Malcolm Warren. I think you just try it out. I think Malcolm Warren is not a bad option here. He didn't test off the charts athletically either. It's just literally the whole problem was like he wasn't like there isn't actually a lot of problems. I mean, it's just literally he plays in a G5 school. Like that's the whole thing. I think he'll be fine regardless. And 2 safeties go back to back. He's a big hitter. He has a real good poise and a real rangy safety. And he wouldn't test it off the charts athletically. He tested averagely, maybe slightly below average. But I wasn't really concerned with his athleticism. I think he'll be fine athletically, and he already proved to be pretty fine with his instincts. At Toledo, we're not something to be reckoned. We're forced to be reckoned with, so I don't dislike Emmanuel Warren here. The Lions, let's see where they go. Pick or trade. We're on a hot streak of trades, and it might just nope. They pick. The Lions pick. They also get the pick of whoever they need. And I definitely think a tackle is in play here with Monroe Freeling on the board. You just don't think twice about it. You go Monroe Freeling here. I like to pick a lot. I think Monroe Freeling will make a lot of sense for this team. Big left tackle. Departure of Taylor Decker, not a bad option. Moves really quick, really fast, really has great footwork for his speed or for his size. And honestly, just a real solid prospect in this team. Probably the best offensive tackle you can get immediately. It has real potential to be a real solid starter for the future. I think he definitely can build for the future. And why don't you go back to your offensive line, which got you here in the first place? Their offensive line, like the Lions are known for having a good offensive line. Over the years, it's kind of decayed a little bit. Like it's not gone bad, but it's decayed. So it's not a bad option to take Monroe for the year. It makes a lot of sense for this team. I'm gonna have a fun time editing this because it's like a lot of like dead noise in between. The Jets are on the board. They pick finally. They get the first pick. Let's see who the Jets are able to take. They haven't gotten the pick of anything. I think Jordan Tyson's 100% play. And edges here too, but I don't like any of the edges here. I'm gonna go Jordan Tyson here. You got another wide receiver here. I think it won't be a bad option for this team. You take Jordan Tyson. You get your wide receiver of the future. There is injury concerns, but I think just his overall tape is just so good that I feel confident and with how well that wide receiver core is off, regardless with Aaron Amateur and Garrett Wilson. Not a bad option to take a chance on Jordan Tyson. And if he works out, he works out. If he doesn't, and there's a bunch of injuries, you move on. And they have so much capital to the point where they can like afford that type of that miss if they miss. All right, with the Panthers on the board, let's see what they take. Pick or trade, and it looks like they're trading. They would have luck Kenan Sadiq, and they gotta hope they either spin their name or you get someone else in the first round who hasn't picked yet. And That's not looking likely with the Vikings. Man, the Vikings get another pick. Wow. Okay. So I think the Panthers are out of this mock draft until unless they get another trade back in. So the Panthers trade with the Vikings. The Vikings get whatever. We'll get the Panthers in the next first round. All right. So the Vikings trade back in. Where do they go now? I think a corner is 100% in play as well. I'm going to go Jamal McCoy. You take your chance on your corner in the future. You get two of your biggest needs, corner and safety. They're my big two needs for them. They get the corner and safety, regardless if it's a reach or not for Bankman Warren. You get Jamal McCoy here. I like this pick a lot. I think Jamal McCoy, again, off the ACL injury, there's a lot of concerns. He relied on his speed a lot. So do you think he takes a step out of the speed? I don't know. I really don't know. But I think Jamal McCoy won't be a bad option here. I think the value makes so much more sense. And you've seen teams historically go to these previous lockdown corners that have been injured or didn't produce as much in college and still take a chance on them regardless. So I think this is 100% like a plausibility, and I think this will make sense for this team. The Cowboys are back on the clock. I can't remember if they picked. Who did they pick? They didn't even get a pick. So the Packers. Oh yeah, they got the Packers pick, and they're trading it again. Jesus Christ. Good luck, Packers or Cowboys fan. Jesus. All right. So who do they trade with? The Browns. The Browns get another pick. Actually, the Browns have pick 24, so I think the Dallas can move back. All right, so the Dallas Cowboys get bailed out. They get pick 20 for pick 24. Dallas is on the board still, but the Browns move up, take whoever they want to. I think Mekhi Lemon's 100% in play here. Kenyon Sadiq is 100% in play here. I'm going to go Mekhi Lemon. Actually, no, they haven't taken a tackle yet, so maybe you go Caden Proctor. You're going to take a left tackle in the future. Take Caden Proctor is not a bad option. You did take Connor Tate. I would have taken Mekhi Lemon here with no hesitation, but Caden Proctor makes a little bit more sense because you already took a wide receiver here. So you think Caden Proctor, not a bad option to eventually build for the offensive tackle position. Again, Caden Proctor doesn't have the best techniques in the world. I mean, that would be a little bit like of an understatement. He has really poor technique, but he has great size for his area and crazy good arm length. Like there's a lot to be like there's a lot teachable with him, but there's like he also has the non-teachable things, which is his frame and his speed. So it's not a bad option to take him. 4 or 5 star goes to Cleveland. Not a bad option. The Steelers are on the clock. Let's see what they take. Pick or trade. 50-50. You don't know what's happening. So we're gonna go with the pick, and I have the perfect fit for that. They take Mekhi Lemon, wide receiver out of USC. Perfect fit for this team. A real slot guy. I know they have Michael Pittman, DK Metcalf on the outside. You take Mekhi Lemon on the inside slot area. Isn't the most explosive, but can get in between the zone coverages. Another weapon for this team. Makes a lot of sense. I would rather them go Mekhi Lemon than reaching on a tackle like Blake Miller. I like this pick a lot for them. It makes a lot of sense for this team. Like I said, I like it a lot. It makes a lot of sense. And you get more weapons. I think this team would want to build more weapons for how lackluster those weapons were, because once DK Metcalf got suspended for punching that fan, there was really no like threat like on that team. Like I felt like there was no one like I was really scared of on that team, and Aaron Rodgers was throwing a plumber, so I'm not a gigantic hater of taking Mekhi Lemon here. All right, the Chargers are on the board. Let's see if they trade or pick. There's not, yeah, they pick. There's not a lot of options they can go here. So where do they go? I think edge is 100% play. Maybe Akeem Mesor get more production. Maybe go for that Super Bowl run. Defensive tackle is also in play too. I think corner is also in play. Sneaky good corners here available in Avion Terrell. I don't dislike Avion Terrell here at all. I'm gonna go with Avion Terrell here. I don't usually mock Avion Terrell here, but a real feisty corner, gonna be similar to like, it kind of feels like similar to like Derwin James role, where not role but like mentality where it's like, okay, I'm gonna hit you and I'm gonna be really aggressive. Plays really big for his size. He's only like what 5'11", 180. Like he's notably a small for boundary corner. That's why people have him considering going into nickel. I think this team needs a corner regardless, whether it be nickel or boundary. So I don't hate Avion Terrell here. More secondary for this team. Don't dislike it at all. I've been mocking guard and tackle or defensive tackle a lot for this team. I think Avion Terrell is a good change of pace, but also just makes a lot of sense for this team schematically. So I don't dislike it. And even with the departure of Jesse Mitchell, I think this defensive coordinator can use a player like Avion Terrell. It's not a bad option. The Eagles. Let's see if the Eagles have anything in store for us, anything crazy. If not, yep, they're trading. Wow. Okay. The Eagles will be trading with, let's see who. Let's see Philadelphia. All right, let's spin the wheel of NFL teams. Let's see. Hopefully they luck out. We haven't gotten a double spin yet. The 49ers. So the Eagles luck out. They get pick number 27 now. They get another chance. So they get lucky. But they do trade with the 49ers. 49ers trade up 23 for 27. Yeah, so let's see what the 49ers end up selecting here. So they need an offensive tackle. Do you take Blake Miller here? Do you take Casey Conception here? Wide receiver is not a bad option. Maybe take an offensive guard / tackle hybrid and just hopefully it works out. Who can be that? honestly, nothing. No one really I'm feeling comfortable. It's either Blake Miller because he has no real flexibility as a guard hybrid. So I don't think this makes sense. I think maybe you take an edge here. I think you take Akeem Esther. I think you take Akeem Esther. You get more pass pressure and production. I don't think this team is building for youth at all either. I think Kojic Folk would make more sense, but I think it would make more sense for a developmental team. I think Akeem Esther is not a bad option. A real can get to the quarterback. Like, you really can get to the quarterback. It's not a bad option to take him here. I think Kansas City is 100% playing too, but I want to experiment that. Another team gets him. Hopefully, another team can trade up and get him. So the Cowboys are on the clock. Let's see where they go here next. The Cowboys pick. All right, this might sound crazy, but is Kenan Sadiq not in play here? We're going to take Kenan Sadiq. We're going to do that. I think Kenan Sadiq won't be a bad option for his team. You take a bigger wide receiver. This team needs a weapon anyways. Even if George Pickens has to hold out, Kenan Sadiq can kind of play that outside receiver role, but he's also a tight end too. I don't think this team is, like, you don't see someone like Kenan Sadiq's talent level hit the open market that often. So you take Kenan Sadiq here, not a bad option. I think this team could really use another playmaker on this offense. I know they also have a lot on there, but again, Kenan Sadiq is not a bad option. And who did they take before? I don't think they actually took anybody. Yeah, they've just been trading back. Damn. So you take Kenan Sadiq here. Again, not a bad option. It's a luxurious pick, but we're just doing this to have fun. So it's not going to be a crazy good pick, but yeah, we're going to go with that. The Bucs are on the board after trading back. With who do the Bucs trade back for? The Bears. Yeah, they trade back with the Bears, and they get a pick. They get the pick of the litter. And the problem is, who do they get a pick? Because they need a linebacker after Levante David retired. So Kojic Folk here. I don't like Kojic Folk here at all to this team. I'm going to go linebacker here. People don't usually mock Jacob Rodriguez in the first round. I'm going to have him mocked in the first round. I think this would be a good spot for him to go here at 25. You're not going to see the Bucs go to 25. I don't think this will happen. I think they're going to stick and pick. I don't think there's much area for teams just in general to trade up or trade down from. So I think Jacob Rodriguez isn't bad here. Produced a lot. He's literally a jack of all trades. He can do it all. He can hit. He's really fast. He wasn't known for his athleticism, but in the combine he actually tested really well. He tested for better than he thought. Than I thought, at least, for his combine stats. He ran a really good 40. He looked really good at the yardage drills. Had a really good broad jump. Had a really good vertical jump. Honestly, just a solid overall showcasing from him. And he also produced on with the pads on, so it's not a bad option to take Jacob Rodriguez here. It really isn't. So I like Jacob Rodriguez here. Not a bad option whatsoever. So now, with the Bills on the board, the Bills have not done anything this draft. So let's see what happens. They trade. And they gotta hope it's between pick 27 and 32, so they can at least have another chance of actually being able to pick. If not, they're just gonna have to give away their first round pick for free. Let's see. And they get cucked. The Bengals are back in the first round after trading up for pick number 1. The Bills give up pick 26. The Bengals are on the clock. The Bengals took the Bengals did not take Francis Marino. What are we talking about? The Bengals took Alvaro Reese, edge and / linebacker hybrid out of Ohio State. Where do they go next? I think safety's in play, but I don't think the safety's good enough. Corner's also in play. And let's take a look at the corner board. Colton Hood is here. Chris Johnson is here. I don't know if I feel comfortable with anything else. Linebacker's also available. Honestly, the board's not falling well at all. Who do they take here? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think defensive tackle's in play, but you already took an edge here, so maybe you go off that. I think we're going to go corner here. We're going to take Colton Hood. I think Colton Hood would be a good corner for this team. I think they need another corner, so it's not a bad option to take Colton here. Makes a lot of sense for this team. And he slotted in pretty well. He doesn't have the most breakaway speed in the world ever. I think that's a big, interesting area. But I think Colton is not a bad option to take Colton here. I think it makes a lot of sense for this team. He can slot in to be a cornerback one. Did that in Tennessee when Jamal McCoy went down. Not a bad option to take him here. Alright, the Eagles on the board, lucked out and got pick number 27, so they're back on the board and able to either pick or trade. Let's see, and they are able to pick. So they did trade back, but they are picking. So who do they take here? I think Kojic Folk is not a bad option here for this team. Offensive tackle Blake Miller is not bad either, with Lane Johnson departing. That's basically my big needs. I think you can wait on Roku Jr. or Casey Conception. It's not a bad option to take them, even with AJ Brown, his whole saga. But I think if he's getting traded mid-season. So it really just depends on what they think, what's going to happen with him long term. But I think I'm going to go Kojic Folk, more developmental piece. But we need more like pressure just in general. So I think Kojic Folk won't provide that instantly, but I think you develop that. And I think the Eagles have a good history of developing talent over time. I think Kojic Folk is not a bad option. Real high stopping, run stopping area for this team. Be good contrast to Jalen Carter on this team. Not a bad option for this team to take him. Yeah, so I like it a lot for this team. The Commanders are on the board again after trading from pick 7 to pick 28. They got honestly the worst because they got traded up the most. So the Commanders actually get a pick, so not a bad option. for this team. I think wide receiver is 100% play. The wide receiver boards really well. I'm going to go Omar Cooper Jr. Be good contrast. Can kind of fill that Deebo Samuel role. I don't think he's exactly like Deebo Samuel in terms of like actual like size, strength, but he also has really good contact balance. He's really versatile like Deebo Samuel. Can really do a lot of things. Has really good hands. Kind of just is like in my opinion, like a younger Deebo Samuel. Not in like I said, not physically wise, but just like some of the similar traits he has, so it's not a bad option to take Omar Cooper Jr. You need a wide receiver just in general, and I won't really have I don't think I'll ever have the Commanders take Omar Cooper Jr. unless it's just really in this scenario, but it's honestly a really good pick, real clutch player with good hands, not a bad option to take this pick. I like it a lot. The Chiefs, did they even trade back, or did they actually? No, they got another pick here somewhere. I guess I was wrong. Alright, yeah, the Chiefs haven't picked yet, so they can either get a pick or a trade option. I thought the Chiefs got a trade back. Oh man, the Chiefs might be out of this mock draft. Let's see who they trade with. There's a bunch of teams, all 32 teams. Let's see. The Pats. They get lucky. They get the Pats. They just trade back 2 spots. Wow. Okay. Typical Chiefs faction. They got pretty lucky. But they're still available to pick or trade, so it's not a bad option. The Pats and the Chiefs swap, and let's see who the Patriots can get. Casey Conception is a really good pick for a really good value for this pick. I think I'm gonna go Casey Conception here. Makes a lot of sense for this team. You need a wide receiver just in general, so it's not bad idea to take Casey Conception here. Makes a lot of sense for this team, and he can play a versatile role. There's issues with his drop issues, but I think you can just develop that over time. I think it's more technique based than it is more like just him as a him problem, which you can't catch. Like I think it makes more sense, and he also can provide good area for punt return and kick return. Not a bad option. Real good versatility. Again, makes sense. The Dolphins back on the board. They took Ruben Bain Jr. They were actually one of the few teams that picked, stuck and pick, and I think they're gonna stick and pick again. Let's see. Oh no, they're trading. All right, who do the Dolphins trade with? If they get the Chiefs, they trade with the Chiefs, or the Seahawks. That's the only way they stay back in the first round. They almost got the Chiefs. The Raiders are back in the first round. The Chargers actually, no, the Chargers. Oh my God, the Chargers are back. Wow. Okay, so I thought it was gonna be the Raiders. Okay, so the Dolphins are officially out of this mock draft unless they trade back in the last 2 picks. The Chargers. Who did they take here? They took I took Avon Trow. I think a guard is 100% in play here. I'm going to go Manuel Pregnon. I really am going to go Manuel Pregnon. I'm higher on Manuel Pregnon than I am some of these other people that do mock drafts. I think I like Manuel Pregnon more than some of these other guys because I feel like Manuel Pregnon, he has produced at a decently okay program at USC in terms of offensive lineman, and then produced at a really good program for offensive lineman at Oregon. So I think people are kind of over concerned. The only problem is like I wouldn't feel comfortable taking the first round because of his age, but I think people are really concerned with his age regardless. I'm not like a huge like hater of that like area. I think there like he is an older prospect, like don't get me wrong, but he moves so well laterally and speed for his size. Like he has a really good like run stopping ability. It's not a little bit worse on the pass pro side, but I think he has developmental areas. But I think it'd be a real high for a guard regardless. So I don't hate this pick at all. And the team needs a guard regardless, and so it's not a check to hate. The Chiefs on the board. They traded back again, and they get a stick and pick this time. Who do they pick though? I think an edge is a gigantic need for this team. So pick is in order. I think an edge or a corner here makes a lot of sense. The problem is the corner board is really deep. They have pick 40, so maybe you hope Brandon Cesar falls. I'm gonna go with an edge here. I'm gonna go TJ Parker. I think this makes a lot of sense for his team schematically as well. I think TJ Parker can fit that Spagnuolo type role, literally do anything. And George Karlaftis has not been the worst pick in the world for them, but I think they need more on the edge side and they need more firepower. So taking an edge rusher here is really good, and teams like love edge rushers, like organizations love it. TJ Parker doesn't wow you with everything, but he's again a solid high floor player. I think it'd be awesome. I think people are concerned with his ability to play 3-down lineman. I don't think so. I think he can already play 3-down lineman in the NFL. I don't dislike TJ Parker at all. Makes a lot of sense for his team. The Seahawks are on the board. Let's see if they get lucky and are able to pick, and they trade. And they freaking trade. What a way to end this last wheel. Let's see if any other team is able to capitalize on the trade back. I think it's a realistic possibility for the Seahawks just trade back just in general with this whole nonsense going on. But the Browns get back in. We're gonna see where. All right, so the Browns trade back in. The Browns get number 32, and they had Caden Proctor, and Carnell Tate. So the Browns get 3 first-round picks, so that's pretty good. I would like another wide receiver here. Let's see how the board's falling for in terms of wide receiver. I think Denzel Boston makes a lot of sense here. I think I like Denzel Boston a lot too as a prospect. I just don't think I like him as much as Casey Conception, because I'm a big Casey Conception guy. Casey Conception is more of like not a my guy type of guy, because he's getting first-round buzz, so it's not really a my guy type of guy. But he is more of a guy where I'm like, okay, like I think that he can like be better than Denzel Boston in terms of versatility, and I like the traits a little more. I feel like I'm a little more concerned with him there. So I don't know. I feel like that makes a lot more sense. But yeah, I like Casey Conception here. It makes a lot of sense for his team. Pretty good schematic fit. I like it a lot. And Denzel Boston wouldn't be a bad option for his team. He doesn't have elite separation, but he has solid enough separation, which I think might be like decent enough for the NFL, and it'll be a contrast to Carnell Tate and Jerry Jeudy, so they get their wide receiver lockdown, wide receiver tier lockdown for the future. So it's not a bad option to take the chance on that. But anyways, that's it. Thank you for watching. That's my Madden This Monday mock draft with the wheel featuring. So let me know what you guys think. I like this. This is really fun. I might do something similar like this again. Let me know what you guys think of this. Let me know if you guys like this type of content. I do one silly video a week if this like works out and actually like makes sense. But yeah, it was a little bit like on the spot. I thought of this like 20 minutes ago, and I was like, okay, maybe do a wheel thing and do trades and just trade up. Like that's what I want to do. So I did it. Thank you all for watching. This outro's getting way longer than I expected. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.